Paul Ryan is retiring, and there are 9 things you need to know. A 13-year-old has been suspended from school for drawing a stick figure of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and 2/3 of millennials don't know what Auschwitz was. My name's Howard Riell, and this is Real Truth. Let's get right to it. Item from the Rutherford Institute. Condemning draconian zero-tolerance school policies bereft of common sense, the Rutherford Institute is demanding the North Carolina School District rescind the suspension of a middle school student for drawing a sword-wielding Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle and other fanciful stick figures. In coming to the defense of a 13-year-old student at Roseboro-Salemburg Middle School who was suspended for 2 days for doodling stick figure drawings that included a Ninja Turtle holding swords in each hand, another stick figure aiming a rifle, a souped-up car, a magician, and a tower with a bow and arrow. Rutherford Institute attorneys assert that the punishment infringes on the student's First Amendment right of expression, is excessive, and is contrary to district policies guaranteeing children a right to an education. Moreover, Institute attorneys point out that the drawings were not seen by any other student, did not cause any disruption of the school, did not threaten anyone, and had no impact on the safety of others. There are hundreds of cases like this around the nation involving young people who are being suspended, expelled, even arrested under school policies that criminalize childish behavior and punish all offenses severely, no matter how minor the so-called infraction may be, said constitutional attorney John Whitehead, president of the Rutherford Institute and author of Battlefield America, The War on the American People. We all want to keep schools safe, but it's far better to see something credible done about actual threats rather than this ongoing, senseless targeting of childish behavior that poses no threat, causes no disruption, and is a creative and healthy part of childhood. After finishing his assignments and waiting for the rest of the class to finish, a 13-year-old student began doodling on notebook paper. While the student handbook provides a suspension is allowed for first-time offenses such as fighting, threatening students or staff, or possession of a dangerous object, Rutherford Institute attorneys point out there is simply no evidence suggesting that drawing an individually posed stick figure with swords and a gun with no other context could rise to the same level of severity as threats and violence or actual violence against others. Unquote. My friends, it's a long-standing truism. Those who can, do. Those who can't, teach, or they become school administrators. I have seen more absolute stupidity in public schools around this country over the 10 years I've done this show than would be believed. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. It's Thursday. It's Real Truth. We'll be back.
Systems rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom tailored capabilities to monitor emergency lighting all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full-service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to GreatPlainsSolar.com.
All right, guys, we are back. Howard Riell. The show is called Real Truth, and that is exactly what I'm going to give you. Now, we started talking about the idiocy of teachers in public schools. The idiocy advances with children into colleges. Our college students are being turned into victims. I've talked about it many times on the show, and you know it for yourself. Here's Rush Limbaugh talking about just that. My friends, it's funny. The left wants to make us victims, and it turns out we really are victims of the left. We'll be back.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution. You look at the line and reminds us that the problem is well done. We know our kids will be a professor of peace. We want to applaud the youngsters in our community who have said no. They provide examples to their peers and families to be the best. That's the public of the Walker Plan, located at 366 Grand Regional, serving our area in 1943 and specializing in naturalized PhD and work and complete custom process. All 303-688-2040. That's 303-688-2240. Total concrete service along our line. The men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those who serve today. It's a reminder from Total Concrete Services at 4462 Hilltop Road in Tonga, proud to serve the entire area and to work on behalf of our future. More information call 970-535-4780.
All right, guys, this is Real Truth. Welcome back. Let's continue with the way our children are being damaged and propagandized and brainwashed. Here is educator Heather McDonald, okay, political commentator as well, about how diversity bureaucrats have ruined American universities. It's a fascinating discussion. Listen.
Diversity. It is so preposterous, Charles. And, you know, this national
And so when you find someone working in a field, any field, and it's a woman or a person of color, you naturally say to yourself, well, wait a minute. Is this person really qualified? Or is his or her presence in this field simply due to quotas? It's a realistic question, and it's a rational question, and it's a way in which minorities and women are being victimized by this identity politics approach to life, which is only a lose-lose proposition. You don't get the best teachers. As a result, you don't get the best students, and society doesn't get the best, most qualified applicants and professionals. This is liberalism. Item from Reuters, Dateline, Washington. 15 U.S. corporations, including online retailer Amazon, Inc., power company Duke Energy Corp., and insurer Prudential Financial, Inc., avoided U.S. tax on nearly $25 billion in combined profits last year, a tax watchdog group said on Tuesday. A report by the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy, ITEF, said data showed how profitable Fortune 500 companies have routinely lowered their tax bills long before the Republican tax overhaul signed into law by President Trump in December. The 15 corporations had profits of $24.5 billion in 2017, but managed to obtain nearly $1.4 billion in rebates from the U.S. Treasury for a combined tax rate of minus 5.6%. According to the ITEPE report, which examined corporate income tax disclosures, unquote. My friends, this is a part of the swamp that you don't hear enough about. You know, I am solidly pro-capitalism, but I'm also solidly pro people and corporations paying their fair share. Corporations not only have the best accountants, but they have lobbyists who get laws changed to suit them. And so, I reported a couple of years ago, GE had billions in profit and paid zero in taxes, and worse than that, got $150 million in tax credits. It is obscene. It is, if not an actual crime, it is certainly a moral crime, an ethical crime. And that is the next part of the swamp that needs to be drained. Item from CBS Local. Dateline, Rockwall, Texas. A North Texas pediatrician has been suspended from his practice for bizarre and dangerous acts detailed in documents from the Texas Medical Board. After more than 20 years licensed in Texas, the board suspended Dr. Kurt Flieger after he showed up to work last week crying and wearing pajamas. The breakdown ended months of illegal behavior, according to the documents. The report from the Texas Medical Board said it started back in January with statements from co-workers in 2 locations where he practices. In January, Dr. Flieger was roughhousing with a 2-year-old, according to the report, tried to throw him over his shoulder and missed, dropping the child on the ground on his head. Dr. Flieger started acting very bizarre, according to documents, praying aloud, yelling the word Satan during visits with patients, wearing the same sweatpants and shirt to work 3 days in a row. Unquote. My friends, I have no idea what's up with Dr. Flieger, if anything. These reports could be true or they may not be. I have no way of knowing, but I do know this. A lot of times we pick doctors for our kids based on reference. Hey, who do you bring your kid to? Go online, check the doctor out. Check for comments, check for criticism, check for everything that is out there. Know who the doctor is before you bring your child to him or yourself. All right, we'll take a break and we'll come back, my friends. The education continues here on Real Truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Thompson, founder of the Green Earth. How many times have you gone into a health food store and are confused as to the many different brands and prices of the same herbal supplements? You want to buy the cheapest, but you're afraid that quality is less, so you buy the most expensive. Truth is, the cheapest may be better. Green Herb herbal supplements are all manufactured in our Wheat Ridge, Colorado plant at 4565 Kipling Street using the highest quality herbs that we source from all over the world. Our 150 different herbal supplements are the most potent and safest in America. Our guarantee is your money back, no time limit. Just return the bottle empty or full, no questions asked. So when you come to our new location, look for our new name, New Genesis Health, or call us at 888-765-HERB. That's 888-765-4372.
Beloved, do not believe in every spirit, but the spirit, but the spirit of God, because many prophets on into the world by this spirit of God. The spirit that confesses Yeshua. In the flesh is of God, and every spirit that does not confess that Yeshua Jesus has come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of Antichrist, which you have already heard was coming and is now already in the world. 1 John 4:1.
All men are created equal, that they are endowed with the Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of that the security rights, government, art, power from the you remember that
Chaplain Collins LLC is our emergency responders with their professionalism, commitment, and break. They're willing to put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our veterans for the sacrifice of our freedom. This message is from Chaplain Collins LLC, with 2 locations in Denver and Fort Collins, serving the community for over 13 years. Visit them online at chapelcollins.com.
if catastrophe struck with your family, be prepared. Are you confident you can react in a panic? Is there one place to get all of your emergency supplies? Barris Survival encourages you to have confidence through preparation, not panic through crisis. Barris Survival, located at 3366 South Broadway, is a professional, reputable business providing quality, realistic preparedness
All right, my friends, so what do we do with criminals? Do we arrest them? Do we deport them? Or do we invite them to move into our communities? Well, that's what a lot of cities around the country are doing. Sanctuary cities. It is absolute insanity. Here's Michelle Malkin on Fox News' Fox and Friends talking about sanctuary cities.
Wow, that is pretty cool. I love those images. I'm going to see more coming up. Meanwhile, Michelle Malkin is going to be on our show today. In fact, I really forget who she is. Chief of Michelle Malkin, who investigates on TRTV. Hey, Michelle. Hi, Brian. Hi, Ainsley. Good morning. Good morning to you. Michelle, I want to talk to you about a case. You're up in Colorado, right? And these, somebody who's controlled illegally, suspected in a deadly hit and run. As it turns out, because he was in the country illegally. Apparently, he purchased $25,000 bond and dropped out. So now the this is not how it's supposed to work. Yeah, this is not by accident. This is by design. These sanctuary outback palaces are par for the course, and they have been for many years in the city and county of Denver and outlying suburbs. So the idea that in January, DNS officials are now going to investigate and figure out what happened. This is intentional. And in fact, this particular case is the third of three cases in the last 5 months where the sheriff's office and the Denver County Jail have secured ICE containers and put the receiver out on the street. People who live in Denver are safe. Who are also completely alienated. I think it's about time that these very officials who are dangerous, are endangering lifetime citizens on the streets of the highways of Colorado. These allegations. It is a federal felony, guys, under Title 8, Section 1324 and 1327 of the U.S. Code to harbor, aid, abet, conceal, and encourage illegal immigration. And I can't think of a more textbook definition than of sanctuary policy than this definition. Any warrant, but he arrested these people illegally, and now the sheriff's department out in Colorado is saying, no, we're gonna move him forward.
Guys, let's be clear about something. I'm jumping in. If someone's in the country illegally, he's not a dreamer. He's a criminal. And criminals belong in jail.
Yeah, and let me talk about that warrant specifically, because you hear it a lot. You hear police and you hear sheriffs say, oh, well, we don't have warrants for him for the guy because the reason to have warrants issued in these cases. The fact is that developed open borders Democrats and radical judges, constitutional judges, have undermined the immigration detainer, which has been a useful and effective tool in keeping criminal aliens off the streets, staying loose to comfort, and keeping
My friends, Hillary Clinton is such a pig. She is a lying pig. She slanders entire populations of people. She mischaracterizes. She's garbage. And if the entire state of Colorado is listening to me right now, then most of you people listening were stupid enough to vote for garbage for president.
Do you believe that
Has she become an elitist? You know, this is Ainsley Earhart speaking. She's one of the stupidest people I've seen on television. I hate to say that about someone at Fox, but whenever she speaks, it's like there's just an Ainsley Earhart-shaped hole in the universe.
Well, she always
My friends, the more Hillary Clinton talks, the better it is for Republicans because Hillary Clinton is so damn stupid and arrogant and elitist, and the state of Colorado went for her in the election. Item from the Daily Wire on Wednesday. Speaker of the House Paul Ryan announced to colleagues he would be stepping down from a position as Speaker after the November elections and would not be running for re-election in his district, a retirement that will send shockwaves throughout the Republican Party. An odd amount of celebration has broken out in Trump-friendly circles of the Republican Party, where Ryan has been blamed for legislative shortcomings. A similarly odd amount of celebration has broken out in Democratic circles, despite the fact that Ryan's attitude toward Democrats has been far more collegial than presumed alternatives. My friends, there are 9 things you need to know about Paul Ryan. When we come back, we'll hear what they are. Stick around.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. He was in the world, and the world was made through him. The world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. But as many as received him, to them he gave the right to become children of God, to those who believe in his name, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 10 through 13. The American Freedom Network is not funded or supported by special interest groups or government programs. The American Freedom Network is not sponsored by advertisers demanding content or programming control. The American Freedom Network is solely funded by you, the listener. Please help keep the American Freedom Network on the air by purchasing one of our sponsors' fine products or by calling 1-800-205-6245 to make a donation. The American Freedom Network needs your help. American window tinting, interpret, breakdown, reminds parents, keep an eye on your
have information regarding a lost child, call local authorities from the Credit Window Tinting Incorporated in Franklin. For residential or commercial window work, call 303-263-4228.
All right, guys, here's what I'm going to do. I want to focus on this first reason that Ben Shapiro at Daily Wire offers about what we should think about Paul Ryan quitting. Before I do that, though, I want to play some Tammy Bruce about why Donald Trump is more similar to Ronald Reagan than a lot of people think. So let's listen, because this is important.
But this isn't the first time our commander-in-chief has been compared to criticism for being a conservative. Joining us now is Fox News contributor Tammy Bruce.
Reagan and Trump were and are outsiders who threaten the bureaucracy. My friends, that is great news for us, because the bureaucracy has had its foot on our throats for decades. Now, if someone comes along who hates the bureaucracy, the swamp, and wants to drain it, that is a blessing for the American people. So embrace this president. Now, back to Daily Wire. This was written by Ben Shapiro. It's going 9 different things you need to know about Paul Ryan now that he's announced his resignation. Before we go to the commercial, I want to focus on number 1. Okay, here's what Ben Shapiro says. Ryan's leaving because the blue wave is coming. And he cites Trey Gowdy, Bob Goodlatte, Jeb Hensarling, Rodney Fliegenheisen, etc., etc., a whole bunch of Republican politicians. And he says the blue wave is coming and isn't going to be pretty. President Trump's approval rating is still low by poll averages, and Democratic enthusiasm is at record high. Ryan's leaving signals to donors that the House is in serious trouble, unquote. With all due respect to Ben Shapiro, I disagree. I think this blue wave is like the Arab Spring. It was a lot of public relations and spin and maybe a lot of hoping. Turned out to be nothing. I do not believe there's going to be a blue wave. I think people believe more than ever the truth that the Democrats are bankrupt of any ideas that American people know they're dishonest, they're slanderous, and they've been sitting with their arms crossed doing nothing since Trump became president. I think America realizes this, and so no, I don't see a blue wave. We'll wait until November and see if I'm right. Reason number 2, Ryan isn't leaving because Trump won. He's leaving because 2018 will be awful for him. Ryan stayed and successfully pursued several of Trump's top agenda items. He was able to balance his obvious personal problems with Trump with his desire to push a certain legislative agenda. He's leaving because he isn't interested in being blamed for the likely loss of the House in the next few months, which Republicans will lay at his feet simply in order to avoid blaming President Trump. Again, I don't believe that there's going to be a big defeat for the Republicans, although a lot of Republicans sure as hell need to get their asses kicked. 3, Ryan leaving does represent a triumph of Trumpian attitude. Ryan wasn't hot on Trump in 2016, and he's not hot on Trump now. He's learned to work with Trump, but there's little question Trump's combative attitude is now more popular with the base than Ryan's low-key winkishness and penchant for riffing about Jack Kemp. That was true in 2016. However, it's not what his retirement proves. Unquote. The base, number 4, the base disliked Ryan, but that's because of McConnell. Ryan took a lot of hits for being too willing to pass massive budgets that violated his own principles, and perhaps he should have been willing to hold the line and force Trump's and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's feet to the fire. But Ryan has really taken shots that should have been aimed at McConnell. In every case of supposed Ryan treachery, Ryan's House has passed a conservative bill only to be rejected by McConnell's Senate. All right, you know what? We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll pick up right there. We'll finish talking about Paul Ryan. Believe me, I am glad to see him go. But we have to know what his going means and what it portends for the future. In the meantime, we're going to take a commercial break. This is Real Truth. I appreciate your listening to us today and every day. Don't forget, this August, not so far away, we'll be celebrating 10 years of Real Truth. We'll be right back.
Article 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seized.
The Lord brings counsel of the nations to nothing. He makes the plans of the people of no effect. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the plans of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose God is the people he has chosen as his own inheritance. Psalm 33, verses 10.
Chaplain Collins L. Otis salutes our emergency first responders for their professionalism, commitment, and bravery. They're willing to put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our veterans for the sacrifice they made for our freedom. This message is from Chaplain Collins LLC, with 2 locations in Denver and Fort Collins, serving the community for over 13 years. Visit them online at chapelcollins.com. Total Concrete Services and Longmont reminds listeners the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty. Salute those who serve today. This reminder from Total Concrete Services at 4462 Hilltop Road in Longmont. Proud to serve the entire area and to work on behalf of our future. For more information, call 970-535-4780.
Item from CBS. More than 1/5 of millennials in the United States, 22%, have not heard of or aren't sure if they've heard of the Holocaust, according to a study published Thursday on Israel's Holocaust Remembrance Day. The study, which was commissioned by the Conference on Jewish Material Claims Against Germany and conducted by Schoen Consulting, also found 11% of U.S. adults overall have not heard of the Holocaust or aren't sure that they did. Additionally, 41% of millennials believe 2 million Jews or fewer were killed during the Holocaust, the study found. 6 million Jews were killed in World War II by Nazi Germany and its accomplices. 2/3 of millennials could not identify in the survey what Auschwitz was. The survey found there were critical gaps both in awareness of basic facts as well as detailed knowledge of the Holocaust, said a news release on the findings. A majority of American adults surveyed, 70%, 70, agreed with a statement reading, fewer people seem to care about the Holocaust as much as they used to. 58% of Americans believe something like the Holocaust could happen again, the survey found. The study on Holocaust awareness and knowledge in the U.S. was conducted between February 23rd and 27th and involved 1,350 interviews with American adults 18 and older. The study underscores the importance of Holocaust education in our schools, said Greg Schneider, Executive Vice President of the Claims Conference, in a statement. There remain troubling gaps in Holocaust awareness while survivors are still with us. Imagine when there no longer are survivors here to tell their stories. Unquote. All right, guys, I wanted to get that in. Let's go through some more things we need to know about Paul Ryan's departure from Ben Shapiro at Daily Wire. Number 5, Trump's victories were largely Ryan's. With the exception of the move of the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, most of Trump's major victories were attributable to Ryan. Stop. Wrong. Ryan was there to move the paper along, but it was all Trump conceiving and executing what may be the most ambitious agenda in the history of the presidency. 6, Ryan never wanted the job. Wrong. Ryan said he never wanted the job. You bet your ass he wanted it. 7, Ryan's priorities were not backed by Trump or his fellow legislators. That's true, because Ryan is a political hack, while Trump is not. Trump was working for the American people. Ryan was working for the Republican Party. Number 8, Ryan has young kids. Being a legislator sucks. It's just awful. You spend most of your time away from your family. Stop. Come on, Ben, you got to be smarter than this. People who go into politics professionally, they would rather do politics in the Beltway than breathe, let alone be with their young kids. I promise you, this is not why Paul Ryan is leaving. Finally, number 9, whoever replaces Ryan must be a wartime consigliere. The person replacing Ryan will likely be minority leader. That means Republicans need someone who's willing to stop Nancy Pelosi's far-left agenda at every turn, unquote. My friends, once again, I part company with Ben Shapiro. I do not believe that Nancy Pelosi is going to be the majority leader after this coming election. We will see. But the bottom line is this. Anytime a political hack who has opposed and continues to oppose the president gets out of Washington, D.C., the American people win. I'm not sure who's going to take his place. Whoever it is will probably be more amenable to working with Donald Trump and to working for the American people. That's it for this week. I'll be back on Monday, my friends. Listen closely to me. It's never been more important, so pay heed. You listening? I want you to stay safe. I want you to stay healthy. And I want you to stay angry. Because if you don't, we're sunk. I'll see you on Monday. Hasta luego.